for everyone here is to learn how to dream high, aim high, make big dreams for yourself, kind of look into your future and practice doing that, whether that's in journaling or whether that's, just talking about your dreams out loud of what you want to be in 10 years, what your life, what you're aiming towards or what you're working towards. Because a lot of times as kids, we do exactly what our parents say, we do exactly, we follow the rules, we go to school, but we don't really know what we're aiming towards or what we're moving towards. And an important part of all of that is public speaking. So I know public speaking is a big fear for many of us, but especially as women, it is very important to speak up. Whether that's on a one-on-one level when you feel like things aren't right, or whether that's at a public level, in a large-scale level, whether that's with your jobs, whether that's with your careers, in every aspect of your life, you'll see that public speaking is really important, and it comes in handy. And this is something that no one was born with. No one was born being a perfect public speaker. The more you practice, the more you put yourself in those uncomfortable situations, the better you'll get at it. And so if you ask, if you look up on Google, what's the number one biggest fear that people have, it's public speaking, and it's okay. And that's why this is something that we encourage, especially young Muslim girls, to come out of their shell and just practice. So practice dreaming big and practice speaking up also. Whether that makes you a little bit uncomfortable, but it's okay. And especially in situations like this where it's a safe space, we all know each other. We've been with each other for a couple weeks now. So we should get comfortable speaking up. And I'm not going to force anybody to come up and, speak up, out of the ordinary, but I'm just saying that this is a safe space and it's a good place to practice because, like I said, the more you practice, the better you get. All right, so a little bit about why, kind of like the whole process of dreaming big, aiming high, and speaking up, and what's so important or important in those relationships or in what you have to, I guess, build. So I'm going to ask if everyone can just turn their paper around. You can actually take notes on the back. Feel free to write as much as you can or whatever you want from the board. But I'm going to go through each one of this portion. But right on the back for notes, and on the front we're going to do an activity. All right. So the first thing is having your relationship with Allah. This is really, really, really important. And I'll break down the circle. So we're having your relationship with Allah, and then interpersonal relationship which is with yourself. So knowing yourself so well and knowing and being so confident in who you are that you know what you're doing, you know why you're heading towards that direction, and that's a lifelong process. That is not something that you grow. You're 20 years old and now I know what I want and self-discovery. But no, the older you get, the more you start learning that, hey, I don't even know myself and I need to learn myself a little bit better. So this is a lifelong process, and again, constant relying on Allah is also a lifelong process. Interpersonal skills, this is where public speaking comes in, and that's why I highlighted it down here, is because interpersonal relationships are with other people. So it's from you to another person. Intrapersonal is you to yourself, and interpersonal relationships are you with other people. Now, you with other people, can someone share why it's important to speak, be confident, and a relationship that you have, let's say at school or with other people at school? Is there any relationship where it's interpersonal with another person, where it's important to be confident and it's important to speak up? Yep.
Wait, can I say something in the future?
Yeah, you can say in the future.
So when you're applying for a job, you have to speak up. You have to be more confident in what you say. Otherwise, the person who's gonna hire you is not gonna really. He has to see why you're interested in this job.
Absolutely. Maria's right. In the future, inshallah, when you guys are all young professionals and you're all in your 20s and everything, it's very important to know how to speak properly to especially when you're applying for a job, as Maria is saying. You need to be able to stand out, you need to be able to be confident and be able to identify yourself as different from everyone else who's applying for that same one position. So yes, that is another place where you can be, where you can develop your public speaking and your interpersonal skills. Anyone else? Any other examples, maybe from school? Or with teachers, anything? Anyone wants to speak up? All right, I'll give you some examples. All right, so relationships with your classmates, speaking to your classmates. It's really important to have that confidence, to know what you want, know what you want, know how you want to relate to them. Speaking with your coworkers when you're at work, when you get older, with friends and family, in marriage, in relationships with your children. All these things, inshallah, in the future that we want for you guys is with family, with your careers, is really important to be able to speak up. All right, so a little bit about each one of these portions. So your relationship with Allah. Dreaming big, when you're dreaming big, you need Allah on your side. You need to be able to have that connection with Allah and to be able to say to Allah, oh Allah, this is what I want. So dreaming big, you need to have constant dua, constant dhikr, relying on Him alone for your affairs. So this is a relationship which is, again, lifelong. You are building this relationship with Allah. You are wanting to connect with Him at such a deep spiritual level that anytime you have a problem, instead of going to your parents or instead of relying on others for a solution, you go to Allah first. You go to Allah first and you realize that Allah put these people in your life, your parents, your friends, to listen to you when you need to vent. They're there because Allah put them there for you. So that relationship that you have with Allah is so strong that He's putting these avenues for you down in your personal life. These are gifts from Allah that, when I need to figure something out, when there's a problem, when there's something I need to vent about, I go to my mom, I go to my dad, I go to my classmates, my friends. That relationship with Allah, when that's strong, you'll realize that these people can only help me because Allah has put them there in my life. All right, the second one is intrapersonal, with inner work. So this, I said, is a lifelong process. This is something that you are constantly working on a daily basis. And I do encourage you guys to journal. When I was your age, I was filling up journals left and right. Anytime, any feelings you have, any thoughts you have, just stick it in there. It's helpful to see what you're feeling in your head out onto a journal. So it's really helpful to just every day get into the practice of journaling. Probably first thing in the morning. I don't know if you guys have time in the morning, but just get, or maybe in the evening to wrap up your day, what your day was like. Just get in the practice of journaling. And this is where the whole process of personal development comes in. Self-esteem, self-worth, self-love. These are all like really important concepts, especially when you're in your teenage years, is to feel really confident in your skin and who you are, because your bodies are changing. You guys are you guys are getting taller and bigger, and everything's changing in your life. So not only is your physical body changing, but also your mental health is changing. So this is the time to get into journaling and get to know who you really are and be really self-confident. All right, and the last thing is the interpersonal skills, which is, like I said, the confidence, the public speaking, communication, and relationships with others. I do have a YouTube channel if anyone is interested in more regarding self-esteem, self-love, self-worth. We are Muslim Family Adventures on YouTube, so feel free to check us out if you want like 20-minute videos on each one of these things separately, because this is a lot. I know this is a lot, but I have like 20-minute videos separate on each one of these items. So today's prompt is, I want you guys to dream. I want you to think of what your life looks like in 10 years. So on the other side of the paper, when you're done taking notes, or if you need to take any more notes, go ahead. But on the other side of the paper, we're going to write a letter to ourselves.